Hello, this is Ray Faulkenberry, bringing you lesson number 4 in our Samurai Spirit, thanks to my buddy Lou, Samurai Spirit kind of series we're talking about, in which we're talking about physical, mental, emotional, spiritual aspects of martial art, giving you a little physical lesson, but giving you something to kind of discuss and think about in your mental, emotional side. So this next kick, we've covered the front kick, we've covered stances first, was in lesson 1, the front kick, side kick. We're now going to go into a round kick. Sometimes you'll hear it called a roundhouse kick. And folks, what I want you to understand about a round kick, we're going to cover some of these basic kicks as we go through our lessons, but what I want you to understand about a round kick is its variety and what we can do with this. In fact, we'll talk a little bit about the front, round, side, and hook kick in a moment, will be our next lesson, but I want you to get a sense about the round kick. It's a fun technique. So, and then we'll talk a little bit at the end about what we can apply a round kick to in our life. So the round kick is kind of a cool kick in a sense. It's in some ways for beginning students, it's almost like a lazy side kick, in the sense that when we talked about the side kick, we talked about getting our knee crossed over, we get way over here, we get our heel turned over, we extend, we come back, and go down. Well, a round kick is kind of similar, except if, again, just so I don't lose my balance, which I wouldn't, but I'll touch here. If I get my heel turned over, instead of bringing my knee way across, I bring my knee to the line of the target. So in essence, what I'm doing is as my knee comes up to my target, I can flick a foot. So you can strike with either the ball of your foot, you can strike with the top of your foot, whichever seems best for you. And again, in every one of these techniques, whether it's a front kick, you can do a front kick from the back foot, you can do a front kick from the front kick, you can do a front kick from the back, jumping, you can have your front foot up. It's the same principle. Same thing with the side kick, same thing with the round kick. Front foot, back foot, jump back, jump front, doesn't matter. But coming back to that round kick, I want you to get a sense of it. When you're throwing your round kick, it's again, you don't transition and go slow. Everything is fluid, but to break it down, I want you to get a sense if we're throwing a back leg round kick, I'm going to bring my knee up, I'm going to rotate my foot over, so you'll see my heel point more towards my target. My knee should point relatively towards my target. Versus the side kick, where you took it way across, a round kick is just taking to the target and flicking back. We're here, flicking back. Now in Muay Thai, they'll tend to not throw it and bring it back. They like to throw it and just bring it on around. Throw it as an inner crescent, however you want to do it. No right or wrong way, it just depends on what you feel like the flow isn't going. But to practice this again, I want you to get used to the bar or heel, up, rotate. I just start this out by bringing my quad way back behind me, putting my foot in my buddy's face. If I'm in class, stretch out the quad, bring it to the position where it's in line, extend, 1, 2, 3. You can do it super slow, but that tends to get boring. The key is I want you to not do is this. Don't crunch up. Try and think heel, knee, hip, head, in a line. Even though in fighting it may change, just try to think slow motion, keep the body in alignment. Round kick, great kick. This is also one you can easily double up. And I know in martial art we talk about balance enough to where you don't kick and then come over. The goal being, work your balance enough. You decide when you want to put your foot down. Work combinations and lines and angles with front kick, side kick, round kick. Kicking is great fun, folks. We're going to cover one more kick before we move on to some other things in a moment. But I want you to get the idea that developing lines a few minutes a day on the bar is an easy way to develop good technique of your kicks, developing strength, practicing hitting some bags. It's real easy, a lot of fun. Well, in our non-physical lessons, we've talked a little bit about the front kick, we talked about the side kick, facing people on, stepping on the backside. The round kick, I just want you to think about the word. And I don't do this in every class, folks, but I'm wanting just you to tie in for this series a physical lesson and something in life. And so I'm kind of doing this in a sense of just triggering some hopeful patterns of round kick, okay, round, go around, go around. Okay, go around, we talked about the sideways going in. Well, let's go round as in all the way around. Well, to me, all the way around may indicate the aspect of life. Let's go all the way through life. Let's make life a full round circle. And what I mean by that is as we go from birth to death, we have a full experience of that. And what I mean by that is, folks, begin to consciously believe and create what you want in your life. I truly believe science has already mandated this, discussed this. I'd love to share this with you for those of you curious. The quantum physics model. Folks, whereas we are co-creating everything that's happening in our physical universe. Having said that, what you think, what you believe, what you say is creating your future. So I'm asking you as a martial artist, hoping for you to evolve, hoping for you to want to create the best life you can, is that you begin to see yourself in the full circle of your life of education and love and happiness and success and prosperity and service and a personal evolution that leaves a great legacy for you. So what I mean by that is fully around the circle your life. Here's a great exercise if you want to consider it. Write an obituary. Write your obituary, how you would want the newspapers to write about you when you decide to die. And I hope you would say something like, this gentleman, if I'm talking about my buddy Lou there, Lou is going to say something like, Lou died today at the age of 97. Lou is survived by his wife Kathy and his kids Sarah and Kevin and Tim. And he did this in life. He worked this way, he did this, he founded this, he pioneered this, he gave to this, he was an advocate of these things. And I want to read about the full life that Lou would have wanted to create for himself, or you wanted to create for yourself. Folks, it's not just an image in positive thinking, that's quantum physics. That's how you create your life. Begin to think about the full circle that your life is. When you step off the planet, what do you want to be remembered for? Hopefully it's not just making a bunch of money, but you did some things. Something to think about, because again, martial art is about evolution, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Think about it, talk about it, share some ideas with your family and friends and see what they think. This is Ray Faulkenberry for our Samurai Spirit series, as it's newly coined, for Lesson 4. Until next time, see you later.